This steak is delicious. It's tender and juicy and has a big, spicy flavor. It's coated with a spice rub that's easy to make, and that's the perfect complement for the beefy goodness of the meat. I can't wait to show you how to make it. So one of the simplest and most delicious ways to grill is with a dry rub over the surface of the meat. This is something you could rub on the meat and leave for 10 or 15 minutes or several hours. But if you prepare the rub, coat the meat, and let the meat sit while the grill's heating up, you'll be fine. It'll taste delicious. I like to make a rub that it has a vaguely Middle Eastern flavor. It's based on cumin, so I use about 2 heaping tablespoons of cumin. And we're going to toast that. We'll also use some paprika, some red pepper flakes. I use a couple of teaspoons of that because I like a little heat. Some black peppercorns, about 2 teaspoons of that, and some cinnamon, a short sort of 2-inch cinnamon stick. And we'll grind it all up together, but first let's toast our cumin. That mellows the flavor and gives it a nice, smoky flavor that goes very well with beef. Cumin raw, untoasted, is a little harsh for my taste here. The cumin will be done when you can smell the sort of flavor of cumin coming off the pan, and it just starts to smoke a little bit. You don't want it dark brown. That would be burned cumin, not roasted cumin. You just want it nicely toasted and fragrant. Just starting to smoke. Perfect. So now that our cumin is nicely toasted and fragrant, let's grind up our spice blend. I use one of these spice grinders, or it's actually a coffee grinder. That's a good way to go. You can use a mortar and pestle, but that's a little tedious. These are actually a good investment. They're very inexpensive, and it allows you to buy whole spices, which last much, much longer, and then you can grind them as you need them. So let's put our cumin in. Pepper flakes, which I like for the heat. Cinnamon stick. Break that up first. Black peppercorns. 2 big teaspoons of that. And our paprika. And grind it. It smells wonderful. Let's dump that onto a plate. So now let's coat our meat. Get ready for grilling. First, we want to liberally salt the meat, and then get our rub on here and really rub it in, sort of massage it into the meat. In terms of quantities, you want about 2 tablespoons of dry rub for every pound of meat, more or less. Okay, time to grill. So we're grilling here over a hot fire, and for a medium rare steak, get the internal temperature of the meat to 135 degrees before you pull it off the fire. The temperature will continue to rise for about 5-7 minutes after that, about another 10 degrees. So we're almost there now. Yep. Time to take it off. And obviously measure the temperature of the meat from the thickest part. Yep. So we'll let this rest for a bit, and then we'll slice and plate it. If I do say so myself, it's perfectly cooked.
What's the chef? Oh wait, that's me.
That's me.